and gentlemen, once again, RyHoMagnifico here with you. And today, as you can again, as always, see by the title, we are talking about Hellbound, Hellraiser II. This movie was directed by Tony Randel, written by Peter Atkins, and it stars Ashley Laurence yet again, as well as Doug Bradley, and a slew of other people. This is in the first couple of Hellraiser movies, you're going to see like actual direct sequels to like the original storyline, all being based around the original novella that Clive Barker wrote, which actually this is The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker. And this is, like I mentioned before, this is the actual story that Hellraiser was based off of. And this is a direct sequel to the movie. I mean, straight up, I think I like this one better than the original Hellraiser. I'm not sure, I'm on the fence, because, like I've mentioned before, Hellraiser for me is a weird series because for a long time, when I was a kid, I didn't want to watch them because it kind of freaked me out. When I started getting into it, the one I watched the most easily was Hellraiser. I've only seen Hellraiser 3 once, I think. I've seen Hellraiser 4 a couple of times, because I think it was on TV a few times back in the day. And then all of the other ones after, I've only seen once. I've seen them all, but I've only seen them once. So Hellraiser for me was always one that I remembered the best, so I always kind of I connected with it a little better. This one I only saw a couple of times until I owned it. Now I've seen it a few times, and I don't know, I really like this one. I think it's because they sort of take the creature stuff a step further. Like, I liked, in the first one, like I said before, I found that the story was sort of actually about what was going on with the family, and Cenobites thing was this, was a scary, catalyst to everything, but it was almost really the monster in the first one is Uncle Frank. In this one, the Cenobites sort of take front stage. You actually learn a lot more about Pinhead in this film. The thing about it is, though, I don't know, that was one thing I have to say they didn't play up enough. They didn't play up enough of Pinhead's origin in the movie. It opens with this guy. He must be some kind of, looks like he's almost like a British safari guy. I don't know how else to explain it. And he's using the puzzle box, so clearly he's searched it out. And then later on in the story, you find out some more background that that's the guy that would become Pinhead and stuff like that. They don't really play that story up enough. Sort of left out in the original cut and stuff like that. But, there is some background there. And then, the Cenobites themselves, I don't know, man. A new Cenobite is born in this movie, and it's from Dr. Channard, who is this sort of I think he's I don't know if he's a psychologist or something like that. He seems like he's he's got a physician background or something like that too, though. He ends up being Ashley Lawrence's, Kirsty's doctor, in the movie, and she's telling her story, and everyone thinks she's crazy, but he starts to see that there's some connection there to the puzzle box, which apparently he's been searching for. So that's talk about good luck. The one person that he needed to find the puzzle box happens to fucking strut into his. I don't know. Anyway, but anyway, yeah, Dr. Channard, he kind of uses that to help find the box. What he eventually does is he finds a blood-soiled bed from the Cotton house where Julia died, and he resurrects her sort of like Frank in the first one. And eventually he'll become a Cenobite himself, and he's this really cool Cenobite, and there's really cool like stop motion effects and stuff. But like when he fights the Cenobites, man, he kicks their asses. Like, he can't be that much better is the way I see it. Like, Pinhead's supposed to be like the ultimate. He whips his ass in like no time. But I guess the point of it is that they sort of revert back to their old selves. And maybe even for Pinhead, it's sort of a choice. Like, he remembers his old self and he tries to help Kirsty. I don't know what the background there is. Another thing that they definitely don't flesh out enough in this movie is there's this whole, like, they sort of, how the Cenobites come from in the cracks in the walls? Well, they sort of, like, delve into that, and there's this god Leviathan, which is really just this like sort of shape in the sky, and we find out that the puzzle box makes that shape. But it's this shape that apparently is like their god in there. I don't know if it's like they always call it hell, and then you start thinking it's hell, but it's led by this. Like they don't do enough background in whatever Leviathan is. It's just sort of thrown in there. But I guess at the same time, it's an hour and a half movie or something like that. They could flesh all that backstory, but I don't know. There's sort of little empty spaces. But the thing about it is, even though I have all these things that I've just said that I find are like lacking in the movie, I still really like it. And like even just watching it, I don't know why, I have to say I sort of enjoyed watching it more than, maybe it's because I've been watching Hellraiser a lot lately and it's sort of a change of pace, but I really enjoyed watching Hellbound. So it's either like an even playing field for these two films, or it's, well, I couldn't really place it right now, but either way, it's a really great flick. If you're looking, if you aren't into Hellraiser series for whatever reason, you can now get these really great special editions of the first two. I don't know if the third one is Anchor Bay is going to have their hands on it to do a third one, but that would be awesome because I sort of think of the first four as like an actual story arc, I guess. Everything after is sort of like just, they're Hellraiser movies, but in name only. It's like somebody came to them with a script for a cool idea, and they were like, that's a great script. Let's interject Pinhead in there and make it a Hellraiser movie. I don't understand it, but that's what all of them feel like to me. Yeah, but the first four actually sort of are like a story arc, even though the fourth one kind of goes into space and people complain about it. I remember liking it. I remember finding 3 kind of silly, some of the Cenobites they make in that one, but it would be really cool to get the first 4 like this. Of course, they're talking about a box set coming out. I don't know what the box set's going to hold. Something tells me it's got a Blu-ray of the first movie, and the second movie maybe, the special editions or something like that, and like inside like the puzzle box, the what is it called? The lament configuration, I think, something like that. But I don't know if you've seen Hellraiser, because you got maybe this disc, maybe the other Hellraiser disc, and you're thinking about watching more of the series, definitely do that. And you might even enjoy this one more than the first one. I don't know. That might just be me, but it's still a great flick no matter what. So definitely check it out. I guess that's all I really have to say on it. That was kind of fast. I expected that to take me at least 10 minutes, but really there's nothing else to say. Like I said, there's little story gaps that I guess they could fill in, but they give you enough that you can sort of extrapolate yourself. And I kind of thought that the Cenobites got like totally bitch slapped at the end when they fight Channard's Cenobite version, but still really cool. And definitely check it out. That's Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. This is the Anchor Bay collection disc. It's got an audio commentary from Tony Randel, Peter Atkins, Ashley Laurence. It's on-set interview with Clive Barker and some cast and crew. Soul Patrol, which is where they talk to the other Cenobite actors, which is really cool. Outside the Box, which is an interview with Tony Randel, and he sort of talks about his career and how he got into Hellbound. God, there's all new. There's one where they talk to Kenneth Cranham, who plays Dr. Channard. Yeah, I think they talked to Doug Bradley. It's a really great disc. I mean, these are excellent packages. Anchor Bay, say what you want about them, but they do put out some good discs. So yeah, check it out, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Over here, maybe. Peace.